Hey guys, welcome back to the Blue Moon Studios. My name is Jen for those that are new here, and we are back once again for another reaction video. And as you can see today, we are going to check out Treasure's fourth mini album called New Wave. I'm so excited to finally get into the B-sides of Treasure. I have been enjoying their title track, If I, for the past day or so, just letting that title track sink in with me, and I have just been focused on streaming, of course. But finally, we are going to get into the B-sides. This is a mini album, and there's 3 other B-side tracks to check out, and I'm so excited to see what other flavors they brought to the table today. I'm so excited. I've heard great things about these B-side tracks, so let's dive in, shall we? All right, first up we have If I, right, the title track. I know I have a music video reaction, but this is an album listen, you know? So with that said, it's important to really feel the fluidity of the album in itself. You know, albums are intentionally curated with a flow, with a story. So it's important that we listen to the album in its full cohesion. And at least this way I can focus on the lyrics even more. All right, so let's begin, shall we? In 3, 2, 1.
What if all this something that's unforgivable? Hiding my potential like it's criminal. But I got an alter ego like a whole lot of humans see me for how I really am. But I can do the same. Let's go. No, I don't think I react. Big step, big moves. I don't chase, I attract. Too loud, too fast. Whole room jump back. I ain't here for the rules, I'm here for the impact. Get money bounce like me. No sleep, caffeine, dopamine, dripping, small core, big dreams, don't calm, one piece, our noise, they heat, 7 go down, yeah, no one can me. Ain't nobody ever gonna forget my name. Bullets ricochet, no matter I know where the battle is. Me versus me every day. So bang, bang the enemy. Here come the best of me. Let's go. If I win, you love me. If I win to play, you don't trust me. If I win, you love me. If I win to play, you don't trust me. If I go, can't stop me. If I jump, nobody gon' touch me. If I go, can't stop me. If I jump, nobody gon' touch me. If I move, whole crowd going like. If I come, no doubt they gonna. Man's gone, brain gone, hate the game, don't play nice. Hard gold, headstrong, got the fame, pay the price. You call it a passion, your limitation, my domination, catching you fall. You tripping like a black ice. You bitter, cause I'm better under pressure. Turn my shadow into halo, that's the treasure. My confidence give you a complex, so you better brush up the cobwebs. I'm counting my blessings and prospects, you know that. Ain't nobody ever gonna forget my name. Bullets ricochet, no matter I know where the battle is. Me versus me every day. So bang, bang the enemy. Here come the best of me. Let's go. If I win, you love me. If I win to play, you don't trust me. If I win, you love me. If I win to play, you don't trust me. If I go, can't stop me. If I jump, nobody gon' touch me. If I go, can't stop me. If I jump, nobody gon' touch me. If I move, whole crowd going like. If I come, no doubt they gonna. I make a drop. I make a drop. I make a drop. Everybody, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Everybody go. You say go. If I say one, we number one. If I move, you gon' move. If I jump, you gon' jump.
So freaking good, so good. Okay, all right, so that was If I. We know If I, we love If I. This is a song about confidence, but this is not confidence that is naturally born. This is confidence that is uprooted from pressure, uprooted from judgment, from negativity, from conflict, and what have you. Okay, this is confidence that was formed under pressure, right? And it just is so treasure coded, right? It's in its name, treasure. When you think of a treasure, you think of a diamond in the rough. Diamonds are not formed out of nowhere. They are formed under pressure, under force, a lot of force, a lot of it. And that's really Treasure's backstory, especially if you've been a fan of Treasure from the very beginning, you know what they've been through. You know that they've been through hell and back, and coming back with a song like this just sits right. It really does. And now I want to talk about a few of my favorite lines from the song. Granted, the entire song lyrically just hits home. Honestly, this entire song lyrically is perfection. I can honestly just use this entire song as my mantra. Really, like, this just makes me feel so hype about myself. It's a confidence and ego boosting song. But let's just talk about some highlights here. All right, we're gonna start from the beginning. We have Haruto, right? He starts off the song. He's like, what if I did something that's unforgivable, hiding my potential like it's criminal? The real crime here, what they're talking about here, is that the real crime is playing yourself small, right? Playing yourself small because of other people's expectations of you, other people's judgments of you, containing you, right? Keeping you small, keeping you into this mold so that it, is approved by others, but not approved by yourself, right? That's the real crime here. And the more you do it, the more you might not forgive yourself for it. You're just going to end up in regret, right? It hits home. I think everyone, almost everyone on this earth has experienced this, right? We, again, like I said, we are humans and we are easily influenced by other humans. From time to time, we're going to look for approval from others, right? We are going to feel contained and try to follow a standard at some point, right? Then we go to Hyunsuk. He says, but I got an alter ego like a whole other human. Seeing me for how I really am, but I could do the same. All right. This is a very complex lyric. A lot of people are not going to think about it, maybe. But when you hear alter ego, right, naturally you're going to think another personality, right? Another personality. But in this context, right, Hyunsuk here, I got an alter ego like a whole other human. This is not about a split personality here. This is about a potential self, a higher self, a higher future version of yourself that has already obtained the successes, their dreams, their desires, their goals, everything, right? An alter ego where they've achieved many great things before you are in this current moment. There's this mental practice called quantum leaping. It's like when you mentally visualize the most successful version of yourself, the version of yourself that is living the life that you dream of. And this is what I think about in these lines, right? An alter ego, like a whole other human. Because when you're trying to visualize a future version of yourself that has obtained everything that you want in life, the most successful version of yourself, the most abundant, blessed version of yourself, and you're comparing it to who you are today, it feels like an imposter, right? You're not going to naturally feel like, oh, that's possible, right? So that's why he says, like a whole other human, right? Now, seeing me for how I really am, but I can do the same. Another complex line, but it still fits in the first two. Seeing me for how I really am. So, like I said, there's this whole practice called quantum leaping, okay? When your current self visualizes mentally a future self, a future successful version of yourself, well, that practice also applies from the future self going to your past self or current self in this context, okay? Imagine your alter ego, your higher, most successful, most abundant version of yourself is looking back down on you, who you are today, and is seeing you today for how you really are. So it's going back and forth. That's what quantum leaping is about. It's about you connecting to your higher self connecting to you now or your past, and loving all versions of yourself all at once, right? Then he ends the line and says, but I can do the same. This is him saying that whatever my future version has done to achieve the successes, the victories in that place, in that timeline, I can do the same thing. Me now can do the same exact things my future self just did. It's really deep, honestly, when you think about it. And I just love it. Whether or not it's intentional that way to talk about quantum leaping, it just fits. Okay, it's just a practice for anyone. A lot of successful people do that. A lot, like the most successful celebrities, the billionaires, they have these practices where they're already manifesting in that sense. They are already quantum jumping in their mind to a future version that has all the money in the world, that has all the goals, all the rewards, whatever. Okay, they are quantum jumping to that higher future version, connecting to that alter ego, right? Like a whole other human they don't recognize, but are connecting to them so that they can achieve it the way they have. This is such an important line. All right, and then we go back to Haruto. He says, no, I don't think, I react. Big step, big moves. I don't chase, I attract. Okay, somewhat condescending actually, but let's break it down, right? He says, I don't think, I react, okay? We are, again, humans, okay? Things are going to happen outside of you. Conflict, I react. Victory, I react. Whatever happens, it's a cause and effect here, okay? If something happens around you, you're going to eventually react to it. You're going to feel things. You're going to feel a way, right? We are cosmically designed to react to things. But in this context with Haruto's lines, this is another way of saying that he's not here to overthink things, okay? I react, meaning like if things happen around me, I'm just going to pivot, right? There are things that you just can't control, but what you can control is yourself and how you approach things, right? Oh, conflict? The only thing you can control in a conflict is how you approach the conflict. Big step, big moves, meaning you can't reach big dreams without making big steps, right? There's no such thing as achieving a dream by just sitting there. Okay, there is no such thing as, achieving things or achieving your goals and your desires by not putting in the work. You have to be willing to do the necessary work, whether it's inner work, whether it's, learning how to build habits. You got to do the work, right? Now, here it was where it sounds condescending. I don't chase, I attract. It is a very common phrase lately, especially in the world of, universal law and manifestation and philosophy. I don't chase, I attract, meaning you're going to do what you can, but you're not going to do it out of ego. You're not going to do it out of desperation. You're going to let go of the how. You're going to do what you can, but you're going to let the outcome come the way it needs to be without you forcing it. So when you put it all together, this is Haruto explaining. He's like, yo, I'm doing everything I can. I'm going to mind my own business. I'm going to control what I can control, but I'm also not going to chase things that are not in my control. I'm not going to force it. Things that are meant for me will come for me. As long as I stay aligned, as long as I stay true to myself, as long as I stay, centered and calm. But as long as I stay peaceful within myself, the things that are meant for me, the blessings, the desires, the goals, the achievements, all of it, they'll come to me when it needs to be. And then we continue, too loud, too fast, whole room, jump back. All right, too loud, too fast, whole room, jump back. Again, Haruto, or just Olive Treasure in this context, they're minding their own business, they're doing themselves, they're being themselves. Well, that makes people uncomfortable. Now, I don't know if you've ever personally related to it, but sometimes you're just minding your own business and then you walk into the room and for some reason there's tension. You're not even doing anything, but the people around you are either comfortable and enjoy your light, enjoy your presence, or there are those people who are just startled, don't know what to do with themselves when they're, near you, and that can make people feel uncomfortable. So Haruto here, right? He says, too loud, too fast, whole room, jump back. Treasure's just doing themselves. And to other people, that might feel too loud, too fast, too whatever to them, right? The whole room, jump back, meaning like, oh, they're startled, they're flustered, they don't know what to do with themselves around Treasure. So true. Like Treasure's aura, like if say they're in a room full of different other idols and different other people, there's just a presence to them that either people love them or people are just so whoa about them. It's just funny. So like I said, we're gonna skip through some lines. I'm just gonna only talk about the ones that personally resonate with me or I feel like is important to talk about. But let's go into Hyunsuk. Okay, his part is so legendary, it's so iconic. I feel like it's everyone's favorite part. Like you just can't help but give that stank face on once Hyunsuk comes in. But yeah, he says no sleep, caffeine, dopamine, dripping. Okay, let's talk about that half first. We know this boy doesn't sleep sometimes, okay? And we know he relies on his caffeine. Granted, he did share that he's gotten better at, sleeping, which is good. I'm glad. But When he says no sleep, caffeine, dopamine dripping, this is the passion. He's talking about the drive. He's talking about that willing force. Okay, kind of related to like what Haruto says, right? When you're about to do what you can to get your dreams, making big steps, big moves is the same thing. Okay, no sleep, caffeine, dopamine dripping. This is him saying, like, look, nothing can stop me right now. There are things I want to achieve in life. If I have to sometimes sacrifice sleep, I will. I'm going to rely on caffeine sometimes, I will. Okay, if I need to use my dopamine, right, to get me to keep moving, I'm going to do it. I have a drive in me. There's a fire in me that I cannot stop. I need to keep this fire alive, and I'm going to keep going so I can achieve what I want to achieve. Small core, big dreams. Again, very simple words, right? Lyrically, but big impact. Everything starts from a small seed. Everything, okay? It all begins with the first step, and I'm going to say the first step because, again, it's Treasure coded. Treasure debuted with the first step, and I feel like that's a very subtle homage to it when you think about it. Small core, big dreams, okay? Nothing ever big and impactful comes just like that. Okay, it starts from the little things. It starts from the small seed that you plant in the soil, and with everything, you feed it, you fuel it, you water it, all of it, right? Then it becomes this big fruition. You want calm, want peace. I want noise, that heat. Again, this acknowledges the fact that there are people that are going to settle, okay? People have dreams, people have ambitions, people have wants, desires, goals, but not everyone's going to chase it. People want to play it safe. People want to hide. People want to isolate. People want to make excuses not to do what they need to do to achieve those said dreams, right? Why? They just want to be safe. They're scared. They just want to keep peace. They just want to be calm, right? That's why he says, you want calm, you want peace. But for me, I want noise, not heat. Again, we're going back into that fire he has within himself, and he's utilizing that fire to achieve what he wants to achieve. Again, he's like, all right, you can play small, you can stay where you are, you can hide, you can make up all the excuses in the world, you can do whatever. But me, I ain't about that. I'm gonna do what I need to do, right? If you wanna stay behind, that's cool with me, I respect it, but I'm gonna move forward. Okay, 7 chill, go dumb. Yeah, you know, one check me, slay. All right. 7 chill, we know what 7 chill is. Go dumb doesn't literally mean dumb, okay? Meaning go dumb, he's just like, it's carefree. This is 7 chill going carefree. Whatever, right? He's like, whatever to you guys. Do what you want to do. That's your life. This is my life. I'm doing what I have to do. I'm going to be carefree about it. Yeah, you know, one check me, slay. Maybe he has let people check on him. But to him now, with these lines, I could still feel the consideration, but here he's just like, look, thanks for your advice, thanks for your concern, but I got me. All right, then we go into the pre-chorus. We have Ain't Nobody Ever Gonna Forget My Name. Bullets ricochet, don't matter what I know where the battle is. Okay, let's talk about the first line. Ain't nobody ever gonna forget my name. That's such a mantra. It's such a huge affirmation out there, and I think it's ultimately true. Whether Treasure does something or not, people will talk about them. Whether it's good things, whether it's bad things, people just can't get Treasure out of their mouths. And it depends on how you look at it, okay? It's a perspective thing, but you think about it and you're just like, yeah, why can't people stop talking about Treasure, you know? That's just how big and impactful Treasure's presence is. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. You either love them or you hate them, but at the end of the day, you can't get rid of them. You can't get rid of them out of your minds. You can't get rid of them out of your mouths. Whatever. Treasure has made that impact, whether you like it or not. And again, ain't nobody ever going to forget my name, Treasure. It's just in your head, you know? Love that. Kind of going off of that line, bullets ricochet, it don't matter. I know where the battle is. People are going to shoot their shot, whatever, all the time. Coming from nowhere, coming from somewhere, whatever. People will always have something to say about Treasure, to Treasure, whatever. It's nonsense. Okay, that's why he says it don't matter. It doesn't matter what these people say, whether it's good, whether it's bad. They know where the real battle is. Meaning, right, the real battle is within themselves. Okay, when you go into the next line, it says me versus me every day. Treasure will welcome all sorts of criticism, okay, as long as it's constructive, not destructive. But at the end of the day, the thing that matters most to them is how they look at themselves. Doesn't matter. People will shoot their fire. What's really important is how they look at themselves. It says me versus me every day. Yeah, every day, the way you look at yourself every day is a choice. Every day you choose to love yourself, or every day you choose to degrade yourself. So important. So Jungwon comes in. So bang, bang, the enemy. Here comes the best of me. Look, all right. This is not a violent response, okay? They're not saying that I'm gonna fight you back. No, right? Bang, bang, the enemy, meaning their weapon of choice is just being themselves, being the best version of themselves. They're just minding their own business. That's their weapon. And then the opponent or the enemy, right, can deal with it, right? You either love them or hate them, whatever. That's your problem, not mine. Okay, I'm doing me. I'm just working on me. It's up to you, but whatever you feel about me, that's not my problem. So the iconic line in the chorus, if I win, you love me. If I win too big, you don't trust me. Look, if you've been a fan of Treasure from the very beginning, you know this is so relatable to them, right? This chorus is so true to their story because even though Treasure has achieved so many things already, they are still underestimated. I still don't feel supported. I still don't feel like you give me enough faith or belief. That's ultimately what these lines are saying. You love me enough to reach a goal to your standards, but you don't love me enough to expand even more, to expand freer, things that are beyond your expectations. But yeah, that's not just internal, right? That's external as well, right? People want to support the underdog, right? And Treasure is an underdog. There's so many people who are like, oh, I want more for Treasure, right? Like, oh, cool, Treasure. Good on them. Congratulations to them whenever they achieve things, right? But then when they start achieving things that surprises them, suddenly you see the real insecure people. They're like, oh, you got 100 million? That's probably rigged. Bro, a second ago you were so supportive and suddenly, Treasure reached this milestone and you're questioning it? Like, make it make sense, guys, So that's why, right? There's like these limitations. There's these weird restrictions to the support that Treasure gets. Makes me sad, honestly. It makes me sad. All right, I skipped a little more forward. It says, if I move, the whole crowd is going like, so true, right? If I move, if I do what I do, if I just take a step forward, without a doubt, my presence matters. And the people around me are gonna lose their mind. Whether it's good, like, oh my God, Treasure, right? Or in negative connotation, oh, it's Treasure, hide. Don't mess with them, don't stand them, don't support them. It goes both ways, right? Right? If I move, the whole crowd's going to react. And then you go into the next one. If I come, no doubt they gonna. So true. Like I said, the negative connotation. When Treasure walks in the room, right? When they come in, no doubt, without a doubt, there will be those people who be like, oh my God, Treasure, hide, don't mess with them. Ooh, Treasure. So immature. So immature, so insecure, but it's true. There are those people like, oh, Treasure, oh, run away. Whatever, you're missing out. And now we move into the next line, which is with Jaehyuk and Jongwoo. Jaehyuk goes, mask on, brain gone, hate the game, don't play nice. All right, mask on, brain gone. This isn't about putting a fake mask, but in some ways it does, right? Mask on, brain gone. Meaning, when you put on a mask, right? I'm here to do what I need to do. I'm here to perform the way I need to perform. It's a game face, right? Artists do it, athletes do it. It's a sense of focus. Okay, we're talking about focus here. Brain gone. It's not about turning off your mind, but it's really about turning off the distractions. Okay, mask on, brain gone. Here's my game face. I'm gonna turn off the distractions. I'm going to stay focused. I'm gonna stay concentrated on the goal here. Brain gone, meaning I'm gonna turn off the distractions, all the conflict, all the negativity, all the drama, all the unnecessary bullshit around me, and focus on what I need to focus. This is why it says, hate the game, don't play it nice. Don't take it personal, okay? This is still a hardcore industry. This is about survival instincts, okay? So hating the game, don't play nice. Yeah, you know that you can't play nice, not exactly meaning to be mean or cruel to others, okay? That's not what this is about. This is about having boundaries. This is about, learning where to extend your energy at. When you say hate the game, don't play nice, this isn't about hating the artist, okay? And you notice that he didn't say hate the artist. He is saying hate the game, meaning hate the industry, hate the system, hate all these formulas that are so outdated. But the truth of the matter is that is the system, that is the formula sometimes. And you also need to learn how to go with the flow. So again, don't play nice. Don't be a pushover. Don't let people step on you. Then we go into Jongwoo, heart cold, headstrong, got the fame, paid the price. This is basically a different meaning, but on the same side of the coin. We have heart cold, headstrong, meaning not, again, to be mean, right? And not to have emotions. No, it's not like that. But again, this is about protecting yourself, not letting everybody have easy access to your emotions, to how you feel. Headstrong, again, kind of same thing about brain gone. This is about the focus. This is about not letting your emotions consume you and making sure that your mental state, your mental discipline is strong. Got the fame, paid the price? Yeah. Treasure? They're famous. Okay, whether you admit it or not, they are famous. But it didn't come easy. It didn't happen just out of nowhere. It wasn't served to them on a silver platter. They worked their asses off, okay? They had to pay the price. This just goes to show that sacrifice and success are a package, okay? You can't achieve one without the other. They come together. Haruto goes, you call it a passion, your limitation, my domination, catching you fall. Yes, absolutely. Kind of going back from what Hyunsuk said about like, you want calm, you want peace, I want noise, I want heat. This is similar. Everyone here has passions, okay? Everyone has something they enjoy, they have interests, they have hobbies. In their minds, a lot of people would be like, oh, I want to achieve those hobbies and pursue it into something bigger, into a big dream, into a career, right? But let's be real here, not a lot of people are brave enough to do that, to pursue those passion projects, to pursue those hobbies and make it something bigger, right? So Haruto here in these lines, he's saying, you call that a passion, you call it a hobby and whatever, right? That interests you, cool. But you still settle, right? That's where your limitation stops. You stop it as a hobby. You don't have the courage to flourish those said hobbies, those said passions of yours into something bigger. It's all just talk. So he says, my domination. He's like, well, if you're going to limit yourself, I'm going to dominate mine, right? Sure. Settle for less. Don't pursue those said passions of yours. But me, I will dominate my passions. And that's going to make you stumble. That might make people uncomfortable because they look at you and you're dominating those passions and they're not. Then Hyunsuk says, you're tripping like on black ice. Yeah, black ice is that very thin layer of ice on the road that looks like glass. You just barely see it on the road. And so when you're on it, when you walk on it, when you drive on it, if you're not paying attention, you can slip and fall. Then we go into Asahi and Doyoung's lines. Let's go with Asahi first. He says, you bitter because I'm better under pressure. Absolutely. A lot of people want to see Treasure fall. They really do. They want to see the downfall of Treasure. Treasure will not respond to that with fighting. They're not going to respond to that with fighting. They're not going to respond to that with, violence or cruelty, whatever. Their response to that is just working on themselves, no matter how hard it gets, right? And that leaves people bitter. You're bitter because I'm better under pressure. Yeah, you're bitter because you expected my downfall. But here I am. I exceeded those expectations and I did better. And then Doyoung goes, turn my shadow into a halo. That's that Treasure. Yep, like I said, that's what Treasure is about. They are a diamond in the rough. This is not saying that they're going to forget their dark past. This is not about, banishing their demons. This is not ignoring the fact of the hell that they have been through. No, this is about taking that dark side and transmuting it, transforming that into something positive. Shadow is your dark side, your inner demons, the hardships, the trials, the tribulations, everything, all the burdens. But you transform that into a halo, which means wisdom, experience, lessons that are learned, victory, protection, resilience. Lastly, we have Yoshi. He says, my confidence gives you a complex, so you better brush off the cobwebs. I'm counting my blessings and prospects. You know that. All right. This confidence is a level of peace, right? When you're peaceful with yourself, that nothing phases you anymore. So that just leaves you, minding your own business, right? You're just staying true to yourself. You're doing what you need to do. The truth of the matter is, sometimes your peace makes other people lose theirs. In this context, Treasure's just doing their damn thing. They're being confident in themselves. They're focused on themselves. They're not even doing anything to threaten you, right? They're not doing anything directly to threaten you, but for some reason, you're threatened, okay? There's your complex, okay? Whatever people say about you is a reflection about what they feel about themselves. It doesn't reflect Treasure's value. It doesn't define Treasure's personality. It doesn't define Treasure's worth. It just makes these other people expose themselves. So as Yoshi says, so you better brush off the cobwebs, right? This is about saying that you are so focused on them, right? If you hate Treasure so much, why are you so focused on them? Right? Why don't you just focus on yourself? You have cobwebs, dust, dirt. You have an empty void in your shelves, right? Why won't you focus on that? You're so hung up on, hating Treasure. You're so hung up on talking about them, whatever. Why don't you focus on your own? You have your own cobwebs to clean up. Meanwhile, Treasure, or in this case, Yoshi, he's saying, I'm counting my blessings and prospects. Yeah, blessings means what you have now, right? The goals, the achievements, the rewards, whatever, everything that you have now. Prospects are things that are what's possible later in the future. So Yoshi in this context is saying, I'm staying focused. I'm holding gratitude for what I have now, and I'm holding focus for what I can achieve later. But then there's you who can't do that for yourself. You're just focused on them. Where's your priorities, man? So yeah, that is ultimately Treasure's If I lyrically. I broke down most of the lines that are important to me. If I skipped something, I apologize. Let me know, and maybe I could just talk to you about it in a comment. This is an anthem. This is inspirational. It's relatable. And I feel like it's just so fitting for Treasure. I mentioned this in the music video reaction, but I could not think of a better title track for them, if not this. Granted, I still have to check out the other 3 songs, but I don't know, I'm convinced. I am sold on this song. This is a perfect song for them. So let's move on, shall we? All right, so the next song that we are going to check out is Zoom Zoom. This is the second track on the new WAV mini album, and supposedly this was the original title track, but they opted to change it to If I. So I'm excited and very curious, so let's get into it. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Oh! Okay! Okay. Dude. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Whoa. Hey. Oh, that's addicting. Okay. Oh my god. Wow, it is rap heavy. Damn. Love that. Wow. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Hey, hear that? Okay. Ooh. Wow. Holy crap. Hold on. Wait. I needed a moment to sit with that. That was really good. That was really good. I can see the appeal as to why this was originally the title track, but I could also see why they changed it. Let me explain how I see it. Okay, just off the first listen, my first impressions of it, it's good. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's good. I love the beat. It feels old school. It has a lot of old school hip hop elements, which I'm all about nostalgia. I'm a millennial, okay, and I love that kind of vibe in hip hop. But yeah, it's good. I enjoy it. It's catchy as hell, rap heavy, but I do appreciate the vocals here too. We definitely get more vocals here than If I. Lyrically is interesting. So I don't know why. It just feels like, okay, I'm only talking about lyrics here, but it feels like Jiction 2.0. I'm only saying this lyrically, okay? Not production, not the melody or track or whatever. Talking about like, you feel a certain way, you feel attracted, and so they don't waste time. They're not going to waste time. They're going to chase whatever it is they want. In this context, could be a girl that they're attracted to, but it doesn't have to be, right? It doesn't have to be about a girl or anything. It could be about your goals too. Zoom, zoom. I'm just not going to waste my time. I'm going to, chase it. I'm going to go after it. And they're saying this with a distinct level of confidence, right? They're just like, yeah, I'm the shit kind of thing, and I like this, I want this, I'm gonna go get it, right? It's a go-getter song, right? And it's fun. I like it. I could see the appeal as to why this probably was the title track, but I could also see why they moved it or changed it to If I. As I was listening to it, I could not help but compare and think about other artists. It's a good song, okay? And Treasure nailed it. They performed it really well, okay? It just feels like a YG mold. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad that they brought back the YG element to it. But I personally think the whole point is to avoid that. To avoid Treasure being compared to other groups, to other, YG lineage. Though it's really good, though it's really catchy, and I could see myself, vibing to this song like repeatedly, I can see why this is not promoted as a title track, because for me, as I was first listening to it, I could not help but think of other YG groups. I could not. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, Treasure is a YG group, obviously, and I'm happy that in this context, they, in a way, brought homage to the lineage of the YG artists. But, I couldn't help but think of One Time. I couldn't help but think of Chinushan. I couldn't help but think of Big Bang, icon in this regard. Mob, So, well, that's cool. Obviously, they're a YG boy group. So, yeah, it's cool to see what they've learned being part of YG kind of bleed into this song, I can see why that's not what they went for in terms of the title track. Like, they changed it. In the beginning, they probably thought, oh, that'd be cool to have Treasure make a comeback with this as a title track and show that, yeah, they're a YG boy group, right? Long live the YG, style. But time and time again, we know that Treasure has been compared so many times. And so I think, I don't know, it's just a theory. I think maybe they last minute changed it because we're just like, it sounds too YG generic. So they opted to probably make this a B-side for now. They could promote it later, which is dope. Yeah, I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly had fun with this song. But if I'm going to choose between If I and Zoom Zoom, If I makes sense, especially lyrically. I know there's a whole debate about like a lot of the English. I know If I is in full English. And there's a whole trending debate with fandoms and the industry saying, is it still considered K-pop if you're not, singing any Korean in your song? To me personally, I don't see that as an issue, that it's all in English, okay? The way I see it, when they perform If I, because it's in all English, I just feel like it's another point to prove that Treasure can do it. Because, they're not the only group who has done that, okay? There's a lot of groups out there lately who have been putting out albums or putting out songs in full English, and they're still considered K-pop, right? So what difference does it make if it's Treasure doing it? I feel like it's just Treasure saying that, oh, we can do that stuff too, and we can do it well, right? Now, in terms of Zoom Zoom, yeah, it's very old school YG hip hop. It's very K-pop-y. Yeah, my personal choice is If I, out of the two, but I still love this song. It's fun. I was so pleasantly surprised to hear Joongyu rapping. Like I said, I also love the vocal lines. I'm glad I could hear Toyoung, Asahi, Jongwoo, Jonghwan, Jihoon sing more. I do like what Zoom Zoom has to offer. So yeah, that's my bit. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the next track of New Wave. This is Hyunhayo with NALLYNA. Now, apparently they were originally called H Code, but they changed it back to Hyunhayo. Apparently their reasoning was because, people were just already used to calling them Hyunhayo, so they stuck with that. So yeah, that's just interesting. But I'm excited for this because we haven't had Hyunhayo in a long time. Our last one was what? GOAT? And that wasn't even really promoted, but we did have Volcano back then, which we had an MV for. So I'm excited to get into NALLYNA. To my knowledge, NALLYNA means like to go crazy, or it's like chaos. So, and it's already in its name. It's already telling me to prepare myself to go crazy. So I'm super excited. So let's go, guys. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. What? Ooh. Yo. Hey, hey. Yo. Bro. Oh, I like that. Yo. I love that. Okay, okay. Hey. Aw, this is gonna be so good live.
Stop. Wait a minute. First step on the 남 여기 난리나 자손은 다 조리가 올라갔지 관 360 완벽해 두
Yo.
처음엔 내게 뻑이가 붉게 만든 컴이야 스쿼어 레벨 앞에 running this entire shot 모든 기억은 뛰는 자리 비워 저리 가 And now I'm running by my dream dumb stuff 글쓰러 touch a pop like a vodka in your chest baseline never
I love this part.
moving to the left Yeah, let's bring it back, profit man.
Yo, the build-up is so good. I can hear his voice in the back. Hey. Oh, he's gonna be like. Okay. That's different. That's good. So we're good. Okay. Okay. Let me just take that all in real quick. Very different. I didn't know what I was expecting actually, because when you think of a title, NALLYNA, right? Go crazy. I just didn't know how to expect what going crazy was gonna be like. But it was definitely not this. I am pleasantly surprised. Very different from all the other ones that Hyunhayo has put out. When we compare to Volcano, it was rock heavy. Yeah, it was rock heavy with Volcano. With Goat, it's very anthemic. But here with NALLYNA, it's just carefree. It is carefree. With NALLYNA, like production wise, I don't know why, but it feels very third gen. It really feels like third gen. I think of groups like Block B, I think of groups like BAP, maybe even like old school second gen in a way, but there's a lot of EDM elements to this. And again, like it just brings me back to second gen, third gen. And I love that. I think it's cool because a lot of not to bash on anyone really, it's just a preference thing, but I find it very refreshing that Hanhayo has come out with a rap song in this time of this industry where it pays more homage to old school K-pop, hip-hop type of sense, whereas lately a lot of the rap stuff, the rap line units of this generation are very mainstream. So I like the direction that Hyunhayo went with this song. It's fun. I enjoyed it. With NALLYNA, I just feel like this is no longer controlled chaos. This is them being like, yeah, I don't give a fuck anymore. I am enjoying my life, enjoying this moment, and we are partying it up. Right? That's how it feels. That's why they're just like, yeah, we're losing our shit, we're going wild, going crazy, and we're partying it up.
Stop. Wait a minute.
Stop it. Okay, look, I love that part from Haruto. I don't know why, just the timing of that is crazy because the song in the beginning is already high tension as it is, and then suddenly Haruto stops you in the middle of it. It almost feels like Haruto saying, "Oh, you thought that was peak? Let me take it up a notch. Let's go into the second verse." 창순 안 타줘 우리가 올려 가치관. Okay, anywhere we go, we raise the standard high. This part is not about bragging. It's bigger than bragging, actually. But instead of saying that, we are following the standard, we are trend setting it. We are creating the standard. Ah, okay. Yoshi. This line from Yoshi is fun. 뭔 느낌 용 포티들 자리 피워 저리가. This isn't just generally pointing out the 40-year-olds, okay? This is just an analogy, if you will, okay? I would just say that in this context, they're pointing out older generations or outdated traditional generations that just can't keep up. In this regard, they're not disrespecting the older generation, but what they're trying to say here, it's okay to break out of tradition. It's okay to go the unconventional route. It is okay to do something differently, okay? If you are stuck in your traditions, go ahead, but move out of the way, because we, a younger new generation, is here making differences. Which, if you really think about it, they have had this motive about being the new wave, the new generation. They brought that up in Volcano, they brought that up in Goat. It's just a recurring theme with Hyunhayo. So love that callback. So yeah, just to wrap it all up, there's so many lines here, but the overall agenda, the overall message of this song, if you will, is unrestrained celebration, right? Celebrating with no restrictions, no limitations. This is free chaos and not worrying about, what people do or say to them. It's just them living in the moment. Something special that I find about Hyunhayo compared to any other rap unit, they're very unconventional, honestly. They are very different. Like, they're just very unique sounding. It's very unpredictable. You can't really foretell what type of sound Hyunhayo is going to give, but you can best believe that they're going to give you an anthem. They're going to give you something high tension. I love that. I really do love that, how unconventional and how different they stand from the rest. So I love it. I really do. So with that said, let's move on to the next song. All right, last but definitely not the least, we are here to check out Danger. I'm a little sad that this is the last song, but it is what it is. It is a mini album, but at least I can say that this is a no-skip album so far. So that makes me more curious and excited to see what Danger is about. So let's go, shall we? Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Mm?
Treasure.
Yo, I did not want to pause. I was doing so well not pausing throughout these song listens, but Doyoung, shut up right now. No, we're starting over. We're starting over. What the heck was that? Bro. Ooh. I have goosebumps. Oh, what the heck? Wow. Ooh. Where's this gonna go? Oh my god, no, wait. What the heck? No. I'm sorry, I hate to be this person, but what the heck? No, I wasn't ready. I'm not ready. What the heck? We're starting over. I apologize. My mind's like... Oh. I cannot get over Doyoung right now. What is this flow? Dude. This part, I have goosebumps. I get chills. Oh my god. Dude, killed that. What the heck? No, I need to hear that again. Woo! Whoa. What? Doyoung. Jay. I'm so glad I could take a break there. What the? Ooh. I haven't even finished the song and I can already tell you this is the one. Okay. Okay. Sorry. No, I want no. Like, I need to hear the chorus.
You're never gonna let me go, 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 yeah.
Okay, Jungkook.
That's a heart attack. That's a
That's a oh. Love it. Yo.
Frame 그건 frame 혹은 pain rearrange 샤바 샤바 high 샤바
Okay,
그저
okay,
cake
okay.
위에 flame
More Doyoung? What? We're getting blessed with more Doyoung? We're blessed.
그건 frame 혹은 pain rearrange 샤바 샤바 high 샤바 그저 cake 위에 flame
Dude, this song was sick. Get your mind. You hear that? Ooh, oh my god. I love this. Ooh. No way. Was that really Jay? That was Jay. Oh my god. No, we have to hear that again. Yo. Ooh. You killed that. No, we have to hear that one. Slay. Yeah, breather. Okay. Is that it? That can't be it, dude. That's crazy. No. Before I even I paused too much. So I want to start over and I'm just gonna listen to it through before I give my impressions. Okay. That's crazy.
Treasure. 발걸음만 살려 더 빨리 달려 텅이 샷건 에이 흘려들은 권력 심장을 맞춰 fire bang I'm a sinner 양손 목은 bling yeah 눈에 박은 crystal yeah yeah 이번엔 어디로 갑니까 고마워 사디가 세계를 날다가 지구를 떠나가 하늘을 가르며 이름을 날리다 이승을 전부 다 먹어가 go 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 못 먹어도 fuck it go 내 걸로 we go high yeah you know no no
What goosebumps.
What you want from me, pay the price for me. You're never gonna let me go, 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 yeah. Danger, that's a heart attack, that's a heart attack. Danger, the yelling feet. Danger, alright, I got what you wanna. Dynamite, danger, dynamite, danger. Frame 그건 frame 혹은 pain rearrange 샤바 샤바 high 샤바 그저 cake 위에 flame 거기에 기도마지 도전으로 줄넘게 거기에 부려하기 전에 날카로운 이번엔 어디로 갑니까 고방한 쌀이가 세계를 날다가 지구를 떠나가 하늘을 가르며 이름을 날리다 이승을 전부 다 먹어가 go 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 못 먹어도 fuck it go they go low we go high yeah you know no no 남자들의 소유 내 목마른 욕심에 터진 농부. What you want from me? Pay the price for me. You're never gonna let me go, 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 yeah. Danger, that's a heart attack, that's a heart attack. Danger, yelling beat. Danger, alright, I got what you wanna. Dynamite, danger, dynamite, danger. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop right there. Don't tell me no, no, hands in the air. Danger, that's a heart attack, that's a heart attack. Danger, danger, yeah, I got that danger.
Woo. Okay. Let me just down. My heart is like beating fast and like strong right now from I don't know why, but I guess that's just the impact this song has created. This song is dangerously, pun intended, dangerously probably my favorite song. Potentially, okay, I'm not saying it is yet, potentially more than If I. It's so unique. I haven't heard a song like this, not just out of Treasure, but like out of YG. I'll just say it that way. Because I don't want to say, oh, this is a unique song in the entire K-pop industry. I can't say that. I don't know that for sure because there's probably other groups out there that have. But coming out of YG, this is different. This is different. And it's so good. I think out of all the 4 songs in New Wave, this is probably, I'm not sure, I would have to relook at it, but this is probably the most balanced in terms of distributing every single member's time to shine and, you know, opportunity to show their skills, whether it's rapping, whether it's singing. You know, I feel genuinely like every single member had their opportunity to equally share what they're capable of. But yeah, this song is so unique. This song is dark, actually. This song is so dark. I will get into some of the lyrics that really struck with me. It's about how do I say this? It's about being consumed, right? So the title is Danger, right? So you think about like, oh, what is the danger here? They talk about the dangers of being consumed by power, being consumed by greed, right? Being consumed by like an addiction to success. So I'm just gonna skim through some of the lines or the lyrics that really stuck out with me, theming out this song. I'm gonna go with Doyoung first. He says, I'm a sinner, 양손 먹은 bling out, 눈에 박은 크리스탈. Yeah, when he says both wrists are blinged out, this is evidence of like the things that he can afford, right? Because of his status, his situation, his, you know, his status in the industry as a celebrity, as an idol, right? Both wrists are blinged out. I have these, whatever, nice bracelets. I have a nice watch. I'm blinged out, right? Crystals embedded in my eyes. Okay, even though he is already wearing bling, crystals are embedded in my eyes. They're embedded in his eyes. So no matter what he looks at, right? No matter what you look at, there's still crystals, there's still money, there's still bling as his focus in anywhere he looks at, right? So it's like an addiction to the bling, an addiction to the money. So, which is why he says I'm a sinner. My sin here is that I'm addicted. I'm greedy for more. I'm greedy for more than what I already have. Oh, it's deep. Okay, so Yoshi goes, where are we headed this time, right? And then he says the konbawa sawadika. So just a good, it's just a fun play on the different countries that they've been to. And then he goes, flying across the world, should we leave Earth behind? Whoa. So the way I interpret that, it's like saying, okay, Treasure has flown to a lot of places, right? So they're asking, like, where should we go next? Should we go everywhere? But when they say, should we leave Earth behind? It's just, again, kind of on that play of addiction, right? If we've already flown around the entire world, what more can we do? Where else more can we travel to, right? Hence, why should we just leave this Earth? Again, there's this play on addiction to wanting more. It's the mindset of someone who already has a lot, but still asks, what now? What now after this? What more after this? Okay, so this is the part where I essentially got goosebumps, of course, with Asahi's voice and everything, but lyrically, right? 사랑은 눈먼 자투의 소유, 내 목마른 요심에 터진 홍수. You can kind of see it. It says, love belongs only to the blind, a blood bursting from my thirsty greed. This is the greed I'm talking about, but not just any greed. It's a thirsty greed. Okay, think vampires, right? If you're a vampire, apparently, like, they thirst for blood, and when they have blood, once they start sucking on blood, they have a hard time, or they struggle to stop. That is the essential theme of this. The addiction is, it's hard to stop. The addiction to ambition, success, fame, goals is stronger than their capability to do simple things such as love, right? Love requires vulnerability. It requires surrender. It requires trust and letting go. But that's not where they're coming from. They are coming from hunger. They're coming from greed. They're coming from, momentum and addiction, right? So as Asahi starts singing, he's like, love belongs only to the blind. I interpret this in a way where he stands outside of love, looking in, and he's saying, I see too much. Okay, love only belongs to people that cannot see, but I am a person that sees too much. I see fame, I see my name, I see money, I see success. And because I see all these too much, love doesn't belong to me. Love is not for me. It only belongs to the people that don't see these things. It's such a sad line and such a dark, aggressive song. Oh, it's just crazy. I also want to talk about some of the rap that really stuck out with me, like Haruto's, right? He says, fame kugon frame hogun paint we rain. Fame is essentially an image, right? It is an image and it's in a frame. People put it up, people idolize it, people romanticize the fame. Being inside this image, this construct that people romanticize, that people idolize, okay, it is an image. Paint creates the image. But the thing is, rain washes it away. Okay, so essentially here, Haruto is implying or acknowledging the fact that, yeah, fame is something we hunger for, but they also know that fame doesn't last. Hence why he continues his verse and says, it's nothing but a flame on top of a cake. When you think of a cake, right? A cake is something you celebrate, right? Obviously, when you're famous, you can celebrate being famous. You can celebrate the fact that your name is everywhere. Like, oh, cool, I'm known, I'm global, people know who I am, right? It's a celebration, hence about the cake. But you realize it's not just about the cake, it's the flame on top of a cake. When you put like a birthday candle, most birthday candles are very tiny, and you light it up and you celebrate it, but those candles don't last very long. And then another interpretation of it being a flame, right? When you think of it, it's also something that burns, right? A flame, a fire, right? It burns. So essentially it's saying that the thing that everyone wants can also destroy the person holding it. Yoshi then comes in. He says, performing acrobatics, my sharp fangs grow hungry. Performing acrobatics. This is just another way of them saying Treasure is a performer. So they're acknowledging the fact that the more they perform externally, right, whether on stage, just being in the public eye, the hunger grows. The hunger doesn't stop. I don't want to say it feels like a villain thing. It feels more anti-hero. It feels like they're just a victim of, of the industry, of how this works and what this industry can do to you mentally and emotionally. What I like about the message here in this song It highlights the ultimate danger of ambition. Where there's light, there's dark. Where there's dark, there's light. There's a lot of good things about being an idol. There's a lot of good things to it. You know, the fame can be good, the acknowledgement and the support and the love can be good, right? The money can be good, but there is a dark side to it as well. And in this song, they talk about it. And I think it's a brave one. I think it's a brave way to talk about these things because a lot don't. And considering where Treasure is right now in their career, I feel like it's very on point. Because when you think about it, Treasure are no longer rookies, right? They're no longer rookies fighting for recognition, but a lot of the times they are enforced to act like rookies that are hungry for it. What's even more fascinating about this song is that it essentially kind of correlates to If I in opposite spectrums. It's Treasure showing two sides of power. If I says, I can survive, I can make it, whereas Danger says, I want everything. Okay, they both talk about power, but they talk about power in very different ways, which is why I find it pretty genius that If I is the beginning of this album and Danger is the end of this album. Because if you're listening to it, right, if you think about it, if you're listening to this entire album, New Wave, in order and you put it on loop, it tells the story. Whew, it's just like dawning on me right now. Now that I think about it, if I were to listen to New Wave from beginning to end and then keep that album in loop in order, it tells you a repetitive cycle about life. If I is, again, about overcoming your internal insecurities, becoming confident and resilient and, adapting into inner strength. Eventually, when you get to that point, what is next? Momentum, hence Zoom Zoom. Zoom Zoom is about momentum. It's about taking action. It's about keeping your eye on the prize and making sure that you're doing the necessary steps and the necessary actions to achieve what you want, to get what you want. And then what happens after you go after it? What happens after you achieve said goals? You celebrate it. You enjoy them. You savor them. Hence why you go into NALLYNA. NALLYNA is the anthem of enjoying and flexing what you got, what you earned, enjoying the successes that you've achieved, the victories that you have, and enjoying it with the people around you. And then what happens after you come out of this high? What happens when you are done with the high of celebrating? Eventually you get hungry for more. Eventually you become hungry for more. Hence why Danger comes into play. Danger, right, retracts you down out of that high that you're in from NALLYNA, that high of celebrating, that high of flexing, and then reminds you that you could also be in a dark side of wanting more and more and more. Danger acknowledges the dark side of that. And then you go back into If I. After you've overcome that dark side and the danger, you go back to If I. It's a vicious cycle. It is crazy. This album is genius. I don't know who curated the order of these songs, but whoever did it, you're a genius, so you deserve a raise. If I acknowledges the identity and the confidence in identity, Zoom Zoom acknowledges the action and the momentum of it. NALLYNA acknowledges the freedom and the celebration of it, and then Danger acknowledges the dark side of it, the addiction part of it. And you go back in circles and repeat it all over again. Wow. Wow, Treasure. Wow, Team Treasure. Wow, New Wave. Holy crap. 10/10 would recommend. This is an absolute killer album. Love it. I'm not even going to hold back on this. This is one of Treasure's best albums. Yeah, it's a mini album, but it's still one of their best. I can see the maturity in it. I can see the uniqueness in here. I can feel and see everything that they've learned, experienced, and tried from the very beginning of their career, all meshed into one, and they put it in this album. I really do. And that's on growth. But anyways, thank you guys so much. If you have stayed to the very end of this video, this very long video, and listened to everything that I rambled about today, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Let me know what you think about New Wave, which is your favorite song, everything. I want to know what you feel, want to know what you think, and I will read every single one of your comments. With that said, thank you guys again so much. Make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. And don't forget to press that notification bell to stay updated with me for any time I post. My name is Jen. I want to thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye.